Here and now, we were promised to record faithfully. Faithfully. Welcome, it's going for the Gusto Podcast. We got your boy. It's the main man, Queso Casino, and we got Slick Rick, aka Boom Bam Bunansky. How you doing today, big guy?
Hey man, I'm here, man. It's the weekend, man. Just one of them days where you just gotta get some stuff done, man. So it's a get some stuff done day for me today. So we're here to drop some content for them boys, and then gotta knock out them errands.
All right. We got something special for you guys. We haven't done it in a while. We got a college episode. Nava College, baby.
College football, yep.
It's the off season right now. Not really too much big things swirling around except for media days. SEC media days just took place. They're doing Pac-12 media days. Big Ten media days coming up in the next couple of days. And then everyone else will follow suit. But the SEC got to do it first, man.
Right.
But for now, we got a couple of topics that we're gonna talk to you about. It's all quarterbacks. We're gonna keep it all behind the center. Keep it all behind the center today. So, best season for a quarterback in NCAA history. Now, we all know the number one answer, but we not gonna say his name because that's just too easy.
Who's the number one answer?
It's Joe Burrow, but it's too easy to say.
I was definitely not going with Joe Burrow.
It's too easy to say.
Stats wise, I understand, but
it's too easy to say. But that team was stacked. I mean, he had weapons everywhere. But we gonna take his name out of the equation for a single season best quarterback season in history. So, who you got?
So, I'm a prerequisite myself by saying, so I feel like in order to have one of the best seasons ever, you had to win the championship. Mm-hmm. Because I think it's a lot of people that have really good one-loss seasons, and those one-loss seasons kind of, throw me for a loop. Mm-hmm. But if we're talking about individual season, on this topic, I'm going to have to be a homer, and I'm going to have to roll with Vince Young. Because it wasn't just the fact that Texas before that, was trying to get over the hump, but it's three specific games, including the national championship game. Vince Young single-handedly won those games with his legs and his arm.
Yeah.
So without those specific wins, Texas isn't on because I think that Texas team is on the top 5 college football teams of all time. Yeah. I think they're at number 5 though. Rightfully so, because roster wise, they weren't as good as obviously you talk about that LSU team with Joe Burrow, who they got stars galore, or when you had the 01 Hurricanes and stuff like that, stars were everywhere. On this Texas team, a lot of mainly the main people were really all of the great players you could think about from that team, they were all freshmen, and then most of the main people were DBs.
They were,
right?
Matter of fact, what was that episode of the Pivot podcast? It was Buddy from I think he was from USC. I can't remember specifically, but I remember him saying, "Hey, we had to go play Texas in that national championship game, and Texas was just as good as us."
Right.
And we all know that USC team had Reggie, Matt,
right,
and everybody who they had. So it was just
Reggie, Rob, Vince Young.
So it was just dog.
For the Heisman.
For the boys from USC to be dog, Texas look just like us. That's crazy.
That's when they had it was Michael Huff, Michael Griffin. We had that team had a really good secondary, but that USC team was stacked, and that game didn't let down. That game came down to the wire. So I'm gonna have to roll with Vince, just as an individual one-time season, you got to roll with Vince.
All right, so you got Vince. I'm gonna raise you a Marcus Mariota.
Wow. I thought you
Cause
was going to say Cam.
Cause boy, in 2014 and 2014 and 2014, like how you said, you gotta be a national champion. You gotta be, cause like there's no way you can be like a one loss. I didn't play in the national championship, and I'm supposed to be the best quarterback. Yada yada. Yeah. We want to see winners. We all know that. You got this man, Heisman winner, beat Jameis Winston in Florida State. Them boy been undefeated.
Right.
He gave Jameis Winston his only loss in his career.
Was it?
That was only because Jameis Winston was 26-1.
But didn't they have when they played Auburn, wasn't they a one-loss team?
What do you mean?
When Florida State beat Auburn in one of those national championship games, right?
Yeah.
And they were a one-loss team.
No, they was undefeated.
When you sure when they
They've been 15-0.
the
14
year
and
that,
0.
so Thing was a one-loss team.
Who?
Auburn was the one-loss team. Then.
Auburn was the one loss team.
Auburn had the one. I remember Auburn had the one loss because that's the year Buddy ran the kick return back on Alabama. That's how they jumped up the. Yeah. Got you. Cool.
Jameis was undefeated that year. He won national championship, and then next year they was undefeated, and then they had losing the national championship game. So yeah, he was 26-1.
Wow. But that's a good pick though.
I mean, shoot. Even you can compare him. You can compare his stat line to the greats. So like you be like, okay, Joe Burrow, he had 60 touchdowns. Mariota had 57. So I mean,
Joe, that 57 like total touchdowns.
total
right?
touchdowns, yeah, total, because he had 42 passing and 15 running. So it's just like, and he only had 4 interceptions. So like that, and then that team was like high octane. You was about to see like magic every time they would touch the field on all the colorful jerseys, yellow, silver. They could have wore pink, purple for all we care. Them boys been scoring about 50. They've been beating teams by 40.
They had the NASCAR Speedway offense. Everybody
Boy, talk about no
was
huddle,
fast.
boy. And I think that was and Chip Kelly left too. Chip Kelly had left for the NFL, and he's still been going crazy.
That was the year, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you mean to tell me you got your Hall of Fame coach, you got your Hall of Fame coach leave, he left you, turn around, you came back, won the Heisman, come back, beat arguably the number one team in the nation, win all awards that you could win as a quarterback, you could possibly win. Unanimous All-American.
Yeah, because Florida State was number 1 coming into that game, and Oregon was number 2. Yeah, okay.
So
I'm not mad at it. I like it. Okay,
Big Marcus.
cool.
All right. So we got another one for you guys. It's the most unexpected quarterback season. So when you say most unexpected, we mean like out of the blue, like somebody who wasn't like on nobody's radar. I mean, it could have been on the radar, but like you wasn't expecting that from him. You'd be like, who? Him? I don't even know his name. You'd be like, yeah, boy, you remember him? He was special. That kind of guy. So I'm gonna go first with this one.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take it back to 2006.
Okay.
You don't even know who I'm about to talk about.
No, I'm ready though.
Well, I'm talking about the Hawaii quarterback, Colt Brennan, boy. Come on now. He was 11 and he was 11 and 3. He beat Arizona State in his bowl game. He was 6 in the Heisman. He was 6 in Heisman. Okay. He threw for like 5,500 yards and he had 58 touchdowns. And those 58 touchdowns is second all time. He was first until Joe Burrow came. So he had the record for single season touchdown passes until Joe Burrow. So if Joe Burrow never came along and did that, he still would have had the record to this day. And he got the record for most points responsible for in a season with 384 points. Wow. So, and then like the year before that, Hawaii, I mean, he was on the team but it was like they weren't no, like nobody was checking for Hawaii. And with that season put Hawaii on the map. And then coming into the next year, Hawaii came into next year ranked in the top 10, and then went to the Sugar Bowl later on in 2007. But yeah, but 2006 was like arguably like one of the most unexpected seasons a quarterback could have, coming from um, two-star quarterback, went to a community college, transferred over, had no D1 offers even in community college, had to write a letter to he wrote a letter to USC, UCLA, Hawaii, and like and another team, and then nobody said nothing back except for Hawaii. And then he went on a visit. He threw a couple balls, and the coach was like, "Oh yeah, that's him. I need that." And
Mm.
then boom, the legend of Colt Brennan was born. So that's my guy.
Ooh, man. So like this been a tough one for me because so many names kind of popped inside my head. Um, but I think what I'm gonna say right now is because like I was gonna go super old school. I was gonna talk about Joe Namath, like way back. They don't know when he hit the scene, he came out of nowhere, put Bama on the map.
I thought
Then
you
you
was gonna
know,
say. I thought you was gonna say Charlie Ward or something.
no. But then then I thought about more recently. I was like, Cam had a crazy season that kind of came out of nowhere. But I'm gonna do one for you. This what I'm going. I'm gonna do this one for you. Shoelace, man. Like my wow.
Denard,
Denard Robinson, that's
Denard,
he came,
Denard.
he was probably the most unexpected. Like I remember that season, like he wasn't supposed to be playing quarterback at all. The only other person that came to my mind, but he didn't play enough games, was for Ohio State, um Cordell for
Oh,
Ohio
Cordell
State,
Jones.
because he kind of hit the scene because that was due to injuries. But yeah, Denard Robinson, like that Michigan team became electric. That like not just his stats, because I don't have his stats in front of me, but that team became electric. He became like an icon.
I think he was a Heisman. He was a Heisman candidate too. I think that year.
He
And,
was
and my
he was up until the very end, because the very end he did slow down a little bit. But I just remember being in that season and being like, who is that? Like they kept talking
boy,
about, I'm like, who
number
is this dude?
16, boy, number
And he
16.
came out of nowhere, and Michigan found new life. So I'm gonna roll with him, even though I know that season didn't end the way it wanted to. That when he hit the scene, then I was like, man, like he got something special. And um, the worst part about it that kind of sucked was that I kind of knew like it was gonna kind of live and die in college, because it was just like he wasn't too tall. You know what I'm saying? Like he had no great arm, but
Because he only been 5'11".
right, like I was like, yeah, this is probably gonna live and die here. So you got to enjoy it while it's here. So I'm gonna roll with Denard Robinson, man. Like, but no,
Man,
I like your pick. I think Cole Brennan is a real good one.
man, you got me about to look. I had to look it up, man, because that
I mean, like
boy,
look out the stats. Yeah.
been something crazy. Hmm. What was that? 2011. Or was that
That was
2010? Well, 10 and 11, he going crazy.
yeah. So I can find it for you right now. Let's see. Cause so he won Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. So rushing, so when he first hit the scene, he had 256 attempts for 1702 rushing. That's crazy within
With a
itself.
gangster lean. Oh,
Man, that's
he the
wild.
only quarterback ever to have 1,500 yards passing and 1,500 yards rushing, and most rushing yards by a quarterback in a career.
Word.
He
That
got the
and
most 200-yard passing games, 200-yard passing, 200-yard rushing games, career and season
Mm.
in Division One history.
Mm.
He got in the Notre Dame Stadium, he got the longest run from scrimmage. What else he got? Shoot, the man had ran for on Notre Dame. He ran for 258 yards. On Purdue, he ran for 235. And at Air Force, he ran for 218.
I remember the Air Force game.
And at Indiana, he ran for 217. And then at San Diego State, he ran for 200. This is a quarterback. This man
Quarterback.
is beating. He beat Antoine Randall L. He beat Mike Hart, other elite running backs that came from Michigan. Ain't nobody touching this man.
Yep.
At top 10 single quarterback rushing games, he's on the list. 5 times.
Yep.
And out of the 5, he got 3 out of the 5 top spots. Well, he got 3 out of the 10 top spots.
He hit the scene like lightning.
What a gangster lean. Like, this don't make no sense.
So yeah, man. So that's what I'm gonna roll with, man. I'm gonna roll with Denard Robinson because that one came out of the blue on me when that season happened. He finished 5th in the Heisman voting that year. So
that my dog got cold. Hey, you couldn't tell me. Hey, you couldn't tell me he was something. Hey man, he was something special, boy.
Yep.
But moving on to the next one. So who had the best career at quarterback? So we're not saying, oh yeah, you played 1 or 2 seasons.
Right.
We're saying you playing that 3rd season or that 4th season. Like you need to play, been a starter at least 3 years.
Probably
and
at least 3 years.
And like compiled like a great resume.
Mm-hmm.
So with all that being said, I'm gonna let you go first.
So I'm gonna have to go with the simple answer to not be disrespectful. Cause it gotta be Tebow. Like,
man, listen, we gonna tag team this because that was my pick too.
No, because it gotta be like
we gotta
his
tag
years.
Team this.
Like
we gonna tag team this.
Tebow is arguably the best college football player ever. Like, because like his will and a lot of those Florida teams was stacked. They were, but I don't think people understand it's because for me it comes down to the plays when the quarterback puts the team on their back. Like, like the specific plays when it's like they needed Tebow to do that. You know, the 4th and 1s, the
3 and 17s. I remember this one play. Tebow was like 3 and 17, and they had needed something, and Buddy had broke a tackle and escaped the pocket and he trucked the linebacker and got the first down. And I was just like, well, that's Tebow, boy. You ain't stopping him.
Like, dude, like that.
Like, you
man.
gonna make me go on a Tim Tebow highlight tape on YouTube. You gonna make me watch this after.
Like everybody need to watch it after. Cause like
that thing ain't make no sense.
Like he rode his team to win. Like when they lost to
Ole Miss in 2009.
And he was like, "Bro, we not losing.
We ain't losing no more for the rest of the season." And you can book that, stamp that, bet that. I'm him,
man. And like,
dumb boy went on a mission. They was on a mission from that game on because they was ranked like 5th. They was ranked 5th, and then they lost, and they was like ranked like 22 or something like that. And everybody was like, "Oh, Florida got that loss. We don't know if they go. Oh, we don't know. They're supposed to be the championship team. We don't know. They lost to Ole Miss,
and they started smashing teams."
You remember when his jersey been red because of the because he been getting tackled on the logo. He was getting tackled so many times on the logo. His jersey because he was wearing all white.
Right.
And his jersey been red. He was a gladiator. Dog had one of the best performances in that jersey of all time. And you was just like, that boy is a warrior.
Bro, he is, man.
He's a man of God. This man is a warrior. He got the sword. He got the sword. He come with the sword. The
This
football
man,
was his sword, and he was leading his army to
he
the
was,
promised land.
man. Like,
Duh, man, Tebow was just like, even you saw it when they had won the championship game in '07 when he was backing up Chris Leak. You was just like, oh, when Chris Leak leave,
yeah,
Tebow would be it.
yeah. And then
And
and he never looked back. Like that was the thing. And like he kept Florida. Like Florida became a staple throughout his time there. You know, like it, like that was the thing. I think that was the thing about it. Like
oh, matter of
Florida,
fact, they documentary coming out this year too on Netflix. No,
the
is these a Netflix or Hulu? It's the 2018 that won the championship '09 with Aaron Hernandez, the Pouncey brothers,
yeah,
Percy.
yeah, Percy.
They're like all that. They got a documentary coming out of them.
Well, they had Dunlap.
Yeah, Dunlap, all them. Boy, listen, that team. Ooh,
Who they
boy.
had at corner, but they had a whoever been playing corner been nice too. They had a corner that went super high that year too. I can't even think of who it is right now.
All right, so since we talk about TV right now, we go run down. I got the stats and the wars. I got all that. So we go run
Okay,
down the list.
all right, bet.
Two-time BCS national champion. The 2009 BCS national champion. MVP. Three-time All-American. He was two-time first team, one-time second team. First sophomore to win the Heisman. He's one of like 5 quarterbacks that had 30 passing touchdowns and 20 rushing touchdowns. He was first in passing yards per attempt in 2007, 2008, and 2009.
Mm.
He's 17th in SEC history in career passing yards with 9,285. He's fifth in SEC history in passing touchdowns with 88. He's first in SEC history for rushing touchdowns with 57. And with the same 57, he's 18th in NCAA history in rushing touchdowns. And he has 149 touchdowns overall
Mm.
for his career.
Mm-mm-mm.
You can't build
Yeah,
to me like that thing.
like I
That
mean,
thing just
you would have to like, you would have to be like a Trevor Lawrence you would have to get the reins immediately and then like
do something like
ball
super
out,
special, like
you know.
because like what came to mind, Deshaun Watson came to mind, but it was just like he didn't win a Heisman. He won that national championship, but like he didn't win no like them two
I
Heismans.
mean, they went back to back though, so
He didn't need that Heisman.
he did. Who won the Heisman that year? One of the Bama running backs, Henry,
Henry
or was it
15 because they said 15. They said he should have won in 15. So I
was
think
it
Henry won in 15.
was it not Mark Ingram? What year Mark Ingram came out?
12.
Hold on,
Mark Ingram won the Heisman in 12.
Mark, Trent and Henry all won.
Trent Richardson won the Heisman.
I'm not sure.
Man,
Dude, let me see if Trent Richardson won the Heisman. Bro. Yeah, Trent Richardson won the Heisman.
for real. Since when? You lying, right?
No.
Oh, you for real?
Oh, hold on. Let me see. No, he didn't get it.
Derrick Henry had won in 15.
Okay, yeah. So that's what it was right there.
But
So,
then, even though they said Deshaun should have won it, he still was third because Christian McCaffrey was second. So, like, I don't understand.
but Christian McCaffrey had a crazy season. So, but didn't
And then,
but
and then
didn't
even,
didn't but
and
didn't
then even,
Dalvin Cook win like the Doak Walker Award though? Wasn't it something like that? Because I remember the running back class being kind of stacked, but um,
Dalvin Cook did win a
but
Doak
you
Walker
but you
Award.
I you know what it was like. Clemson had some real rough games that year, even though they won them.
Yeah.
Like they played certain teams real close, and I think that's why his Heisman wasn't the way it should
And
have
then
been.
Lamar Jackson had beat him for the Heisman the next year. So it's like, when was Deshaun ever going to win the Heisman?
Lamar Jackson was more explosive that year. It's just the fact that
Super dynamic.
it's just the fact because that Clemson team was an all around good team too, though. You know, so at the same time, but I mean, Deshaun did kind of I mean, he did his thing for, um, you know, for what it's worth.
What 10,000? He had like 10,000 passing yards, 2,000 over 2,000 rushing yards, and I think he had like 100 and something passing touchdowns. Like for what it's worth, like his career was pretty special as well, but like nothing like jaw dropping like Tim Tebow. It's
Yeah,
like
like Tebow like grabbed the nation. Like the
you could be
nation was
like
like,
you can argue, you be like, oh, Joe Burrow's single season beats X so and so's career. You could be like, yeah, that's true, but like you can stack that one season up against Tim Tebow's career, and you be like, get out of here, because like there's
yeah,
no way, like
right. Like he was just too consistent. And then and people kind of forget that Joe Burrow started more than 1 year. Like he transferred to LSU and he was starting the year before when they got a new coach and all that stuff. That's when he really blew up.
yeah, that was
So
the second year.
Tim Tebow never really had a down moment. Like even when he wasn't starting, when he came in the game, he was like, "Oh yeah, he gonna be it." So
Because everybody knew, they was like, yo, Tim Tebow coming to the game to get this first down, to run for this first down. And he still got the first down. You stack the box, you get all of
yeah,
that. He was 6'3", 250. He was a linebacker playing quarterback.
right.
Like who was
And he won the locker room coming out of high school when he played in that championship game with the broke leg. They was like, "Oh yeah."
he had a broke leg.
In high school, in his high school championship game.
He had a broke leg. I
Yeah,
didn't
you
know
don't hear
that.
about
At
that? Yeah.
Nice, he had a broke leg at Nice. I didn't know that. I mean, wait, for real?
Yeah. And they won that game too.
Yeah, because that's the only state title.
Yeah, I think yeah, they say he broke his leg or something.
He broke his leg. Wow, I did not know that. The legend of Tim Tebow still grows.
Yeah, man. I know it was something like that.
All right, so
Yeah, he had a broken leg TD. He scored with the broke leg.
he scored with a broke leg.
Yeah, that junk
And
is
were
wild.
you 17 with a broke leg running for a touchdown in your state championship game? Like,
Yeah, bro.
who
Like,
doing that?
right. So,
Everybody else about to be crying. Oh, mama, my leg, Lord, mama, my leg.
yeah, man. That dude is that's a tough dude.
All right, so I had went to so I just typed in Google like best college football quarterback, well, best college football career wise. So Bleacher Report always come with the good articles. Hey, Bleacher Report, if you see this, hey, hit us with the brand deal. But so they got a top 10, but they put 15. So they got a top 25. So they got Eric Crouch from Nebraska,
Mm.
Ty Detmer from BYU, Ken Dorsey from Miami,
Ken Dorsey.
Doug Flutie from Boston College,
I thought about Doug. I thought about Doug Flutie when I thought about the single season one. So, but go ahead.
um, Andrew Luck,
Mm.
Peyton Manning,
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Manziel,
Mm.
Karen, Colt McCoy,
Okay.
Davey O'Brien, Roger Staubach,
Roger Staubach. Yeah.
Vinny Testaverde,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Mike
that's a good
Vick,
one.
Jameis Winston, Steve Young. So if it wasn't for Tim Tebow, this was going to be my pick. Kellen Moore. Because what Kellen Moore did at Boise State,
Yeah.
50-3.
Yeah. No. That was also good. The Johnny Manziel one is interesting too, because Johnny Manziel did hit the scene kind of.
Because we know who Johnny been. And Johnny
Right.
just came out like his sophomore year going crazy. You'd be like, who is this boy? Oh, that's Johnny Manziel. They called him Johnny Football. This man been partying with OVO, partying with Drake. And
Yeah.
man been having a time in his life. Like, who's this man? Going dumb.
And if
Who's
and
this?
and if NIL's been out back then, he would have been at the top.
He would have been OVO poster child. Drake would have been like, hey, come on and sign an OVO. Let's get you some stuff started.
Yeah, for real though. Yeah, he would have
That
been.
would have
Yeah,
got, oh my god, that would have been crazy. NIL back then,
yeah. Some people, Johnny Manziel would have been. That would have
Johnny
been
Manziel would have been making,
crazy.
forget the money that Bronny, because it would say Bronny got, his valuation is like what, 7.5 million? Johnny Manziel valuation probably would have been like 20 million. Because like, just being with the connection in the music industry, because of Drake, that would have like took
Yeah,
him off.
yeah. No, for real, for real.
Then you got like Charlie Ward,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Cam. They got Cam. They said Cam single season is top 7 greatest career quarterbacks. Marcus Mariota at 6. Uh, Danny Werfel at 5. Shout out to Steve Spurrier. Vince Young at 4. Matt Leinart at 3.
Matt Leinart, I thought about him.
And then I was going to say Tommy Frazier too at one point. Tommy Frazier. Um, and then Tim Tebow number 1.
That seals the deal.
I mean,
Bleacher Report must have been going for the gusto.
you could ask anybody. You'd be like Tim Tebow, hands down, single handedly the best quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Like you could say Cam, you could say Joe Burrow, you could say Marcus Mariota, you could say whatever you want to say. But when it come down to like that time period, that era, like everybody said, "Oh, Michael Jordan." Like no matter who come through, Victor Wembanyama can put up 30 and 15 and win 7 titles. They still say Michael Jordan. So you could be like, what college quarterback? You can say, um, the boy at Tennessee, Nico with the difficult last name, him,
Yeah.
that 5-star quarterback. You could be like, oh, he been 40 and 1. He passed for 10,000. He ran for another 1,500. He got 2 championships. He got a Heisman. You can say that too, but
Yeah.
then you'll never be like, because
It's
you will
gonna have
still say
to.
10 people, dog. You will
It's
still say
going
10 people.
it's gonna have to be the appeal. It's gonna have to be like you're gonna have to win a lot, but you're gonna have to carry that appeal and carry that bravado with you that that you really are that guy.
Oh,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
America loves Tim Tebow now.
Yeah. So like that's the main. I think whoever passes Tim Tebow, they're gonna have to not only play. They're gonna have to start 3 years, probably win 2 out of those 3 years, and then they're gonna have to at least get one Heisman and actually like take over like the sport and be like, okay, this team is always relevant because they got this person, and
And
that's
it's crazy
how.
because we still saying all of this, and all the other quarterbacks. Winston got a Heisman and national championship. Mariota got a Heisman national championship. Cam got a Heisman national championship. Burrow got a Heisman national championship. So many players on that list got a Heisman and a national championship, and it still fails in comparison to Tim Tebow. So what do you really got to do to beat out Tim Tebow? And he was 35-6. But then you got Mariota who was 40-4. So like, what you gonna do?
You got it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna come down to the personality and everything. I think
Yeah.
that's the main. That's what it's really gonna take to surpass Tim Tebow. But like with NIL now, that might be a thing, right? Just because if you look at like like women's basketball, like as big as Angel Reese's, if they win that junk again, they might say, she's the best because she also has the personality and she's, on Front Street. Like Tim Tebow was getting on ESPN and stuff still in college. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like he come up on the set and like, yeah, we finna Boo. So I think it's gonna have to be that too. It's gonna have to be the branding, and with NIL, that branding can happen. If the person actually lives up to the hype. So
And then yeah, with
that's what we got to
NIL,
see.
they got a better chance of staying in school all 4 years than just leaving in 3.
Right.
So, all right, man.
So
With that, all that being said, I think that was a pretty good episode.
yeah, man, I like it, man. We appreciate y'all boys for tuning in, man. Y'all make sure to be in that comment section. Y'all let us know what y'all think about any of these quarterbacks. Y'all fire y'all up if y'all think we missed anything, any person. If it's your personal college team, you say, how you ain't gonna talk about so and so? You know what I'm saying? So, because we can always come back on here and talk about it. We're trying to get back
Mm-hmm.
into the college football space. So we're trying to get back into the football space in general. So we're trying to get back into mixing it up, bringing y'all all kinds of different content, all kinds of all 3 levels of football. We're gonna try to bring the high school back, and talk about some players. So me and Queso will be on here doing that. So once again, shout out to the squad. We appreciate all y'all for subbing, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. And y'all be sure to check out our clips channel. We're really about to get our clips channel back up and running. We're going to have clips from all of the videos that we're doing. That way, if you don't have time to check out the full video, check out just a clip on the clips channel and drop a like and a comment over there. Subscribe, please, because we're trying to get that channel up and running too, man. So thank you.
All right, man. We out.